Welcome back to another Rocket Weekend recap. So I spent the day in downeast Maine with my buddy Rich. This is Rich, actually, and this is the 4-inch Darkstar he started building over 10 years ago. So Rich actually got me into high-power rocketry. This is us the day we both got our L1 certs back in 2011. Man, do we look young in that photo. Anyways, after that summer, life kind of got in the way of rockets. We graduated school, we got jobs, we both ended up getting married. Rich actually gave away these lock weasels to all the groomsmen in his wedding. That was pretty cool. Then we started families and just didn't have much time to burn some propellant. However, during COVID, our passion for rockets was sort of reignited with all that time at home. So we decided we'd get our L2 certs together. So we drove up to Cherryfield together. He aced his L2 exam for the second time, and it was time to do the certification flight. So what we got going on, Dick?
Just setting up the AV bay for dual deployment. Black powder. Cutting igniters.
So this is going to be a 4-inch Darkstar.
Yep, 4-inch Darkstar, 54 millimeter. Going up on a K. What was it, Sean?
695 red.
Red. Estimate 4,000 feet.
So I did it in my 4-inch rocket and went 6,400.
Yeah, but yours probably does not weigh as much as mine.
True.
Mine's like 14 pounds.
Yeah, mine's 7. How is that? It's all these fins you got.
Yeah. It's probably all the Bondo on my fillet.
True. So after some prep, Rich loaded up his rocket on the pad, and this is a pad I actually built myself, so that's pretty cool. He installed his igniter, we posed for that one final picture, and it was time to hit the button.
Send it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You see how red that is?
2,000, 3,200, 3,600, 3,900, 4,100. Apogee at 4,129. Descent at minus 61. Below 700.
Yes.
Descent at minus 66.
Dude, congrats.
Below 500. Descent at minus 18.
I'm not gonna lie, I was probably more emotional for Rich's L2 flight than I was for my own, knowing that this was, over 10 years in the making. He had dragged this Darkstar around the country for years, through multiple moves up and down the East Coast, and now had finally fulfilled his purpose.
Below 100. Descent at minus 24.
Yeah, bud. And right about here is where we learn the hard lesson that, nice paint jobs and rockets don't really go together if you're going to fly them. Nice. Now that all the stressful stuff was out of the way, I decided it was time to do a maiden flight on my own mini version of the same rocket that Rich actually just flew. So this is a Wildman Darkstar Jr. I got it in the Black Friday sale. I was almost done building it, but it was still in primer, and I figured, a nice paint job can wait for its second flight. So I did all my ground testing at home. At the field, I put an AT I357 Blue Thunder in there and set her off.
3, 2, 1.
She coned a little. I had actually double accounted for the weight of everything in my sim, so I thought it was only going to go 1,500 feet, but she more than doubled that for me. And then there's like a backup at 1.5 seconds after. There you go. Cool, so we just touched off my little Darkstar Jr. to like 1,500 feet. The wind's actually dying down, so now we're going to 7,000. Here she is, flawless, dual deploy. And she's beeping out the altitude. We'll figure that out in a second. Should be around 1,500. With the lower flights out of the way, Rich started prepping a 2.6-inch diameter Wildman kit. He called this one the Creamsicle, and it had a paint job to match. I also wanted to try out this new 1706 case that I just bought, so I put a K550 in there and put that in my 4-inch fiberglass rocket. So being that both rockets simmed to about 7,000 foot, we decided to have some fun. All right, Rich, do you want to explain this real quick? So we've got 2 rockets.
Yeah, this is a drag race. 2 rockets.
Both on Ks, both sim to 7.
No, mine's a J.
Oh, okay. Mine's heavy.
Yeah. Mine's lighter.
They both sim to 7,000 foot, so we're going to see who gets there first.
Yep.
And then we're going to see who lands first.
Correct.
So it should be smooth.
It's gonna be great.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Well, I think you won. Naturally, I was the victim of a bad igniter. It just popped the pyrogen, didn't ignite anything, so I was left behind on the pad.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Except my tracker's not on. It says 19 satellites, it's just not talking. Okay.
You got it in.
Nice. And back up, okay. All right, we're gonna pull over right here because you'll notice there's a little tiny rocket in the field. Ta-da. Right over there. All right. Another very successful dual deploy launch in last year's blueberry fields. There she is, all stretched out. So here's an overlay of Rich's L2 flight in red and my Pink Ladies flights in blue. You gotta love these featherweight GPS overlays that you can do with Google Earth. We also had a couple of UNH students come up for their L1 flights. One went great.
2, 1.
Fantastic. Yeah, we gotta shoot. The other, well, he learned a hard lesson about 30mm CTI hardware. Gotta make sure you don't cross-thread those aft closures. They were well prepared though. They had some extra motors, so they gave it a second attempt and actually had a stellar flight. Well, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time, folks.